welcome to this session as part of the Beyond Beckett Careers Week. So I'm Maria Dobranska. Hi, I work in your careers team, and we are joined today by Richard, who's an alumni. Do you want to just give a brief intro, Richard, to your role?
Hi everyone, thanks for taking the time to join the session today. Hope it'll be quite useful for you. As Maria says, my name's Richard. I work in the alumni team at Leeds Beckett. And alumni for most people is probably quite a unfamiliar word, but it just means graduates. So we work with graduates of the university, whether it's from new graduates just after they graduate from their first from their undergraduate degree, right the way through to we have graduates from 50 years ago, 60 years ago, things like that. So a wide range of people we have in our alumni community. There's around about 185,000 of them in total, and our role is to keep them connected with the university to make sure that they're still getting all the benefits that we offer after you graduate. When you finish your course, it's not just that we wave you out of the door and that's it. We do like to keep in touch with you and offer you all the support that we can in terms of your next steps and starting your career and beyond that as well. And what we also do is encourage some of our older graduates, if you like, who have been quite successful to kind of dip back in and help our current students where possible. And that's a little bit of what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, I think that's really the whole purpose of this session, isn't it, Richard? That there's a lot that you can feel quite an anxious time leaving education. A lot of our students have gone from primary school to high school to college to uni, and they've always been in education, and this next step out of uni can feel a bit daunting. So I think we just wanted to reassure everybody that you're not on your own. You absolutely have support from the alumni team, from the careers team moving forward, and we just wanted to reassure you that that's there and tell you a little bit more about it. So that's what we're going to cover really as part of this session. So the first slide, just housekeeping. For those people that join us live. So if you can keep your microphone and audio and video off, just so it doesn't interfere with the session, that would be great, the sound on it. Any questions, use the chat function, and we are recording this session like every other. So hello to people in the future that are watching us back. I hope you're well. Okay, so the first point that we wanted to make in today's session is around the careers offer, the career support offer to you. So we offer career support to graduates for up to 5 years after graduation. So like we said, you're not on your own, and that can cover career support. So if you go into a job and you find that actually that job's not the fit for you, you're thinking of a career change, we can support with that. We recognise that choosing a job after graduation can feel quite a big commitment, and a lot of our graduates worry about heading into a job and what if they don't like it? Am I going to be stuck in it? Is it my job for life? Or what am I signing up to here? And we often find that a lot of graduates, actually their first job is a springboard into something else, and they'll stay in it for about 1 or 2 years and then make that change. And it's not uncommon for graduates to come back to us and want to talk that through. And that's absolutely something we can support with. So just outlining, so that's it, support in person, but you've also got some support online as well. We've actually invested really heavily recently in our online kit. So there's some really cool stuff on there. It is one of the sector leading online career development suites. Not every university has access to this, so we feel really fortunate to have all the tools that we have available. So you'll have access to personalized e-learning. So in July, myself and Richard and our tech team have been working on a program of support that will be launched in July that offers you individual tailored careers support, so a careers action plan for you. So what we'll ask you to do is register with a career service once you've graduated, so you can tap into all the support. And once you register, you will get a bespoke careers action plan that takes you through a few steps that are personal to where you're at, because not everybody's at the same point in their career when they graduate. So it will be bespoke to you. There's lots of tools that you can engage with online, like I've mentioned. So there's lots of training available, so short courses. You can access all our events, which are currently online, but when we're back on campus, myself and Richard were just talking about what it will be like when we're back on campus. When we're there, you are welcome to come back and engage with our on-campus events. But if you want to keep it online, we're pretty confident that we'll continue with our online offer moving forward. So it's up to you how you want to engage with us there. We offer support online for everything from self-employment, from so starting up your own business, to helping you to understand your preferences, motivations, interests, particularly if you're at the point where you're not quite sure what you want to do. That can be really helpful. So we've got what we call some career self-assessments. So they're really nice tools, and you can actually look back on those as well. So there's lots and lots there. We've also got our vacancy board, which is popular. Richard, am I right in thinking that the vacancies from My Hub, the graduate landing page, are featured on Beckett Connect as well? Because I know Beckett Connect also has vacancies.
Yep, so on Beckett Connect, you're quite right. We do pull through all of the vacancies, all of the graduate vacancies that appear on My Hub. And some of our alumni are graduates on Beckett Connect who own their own businesses themselves, or a senior within the organisation that they work, or within their industry. They regularly post jobs that are available in their companies as well. So it's kind of a mixture of My Hub and then separate opportunities as well. And I think I was just looking a little bit at the platform previously. I think in the last year, between those two streams of jobs, we had more than 1,000 posted last year.
That's great. I mean, there's such a large variety of job opportunities that come through the two systems. I think that was a good point just to outline, the systems that we're talking about. So the system where you will continue to access your graduate career support once you've registered is My Hub, and that might be a brand that you're pretty familiar with now. So you'll just log into My Hub. But for wider alumni support and benefits, there's actually another system that you will now have the key to as a Leeds Beckett graduate, and that's called Beckett Connect, and that houses some really exciting stuff that Richard's going to explore further on in the session. So what I'm talking about is the support available online via My Hub, but Beckett Connect is really exciting, and we'll hear more about that shortly. So on My Hub, like I've said, you can access lots of e-learning, training, vacancies. It's your link back into the career service ultimately. And through My Hub, you can also book a one-to-one appointment with a careers consultant. But before you do so, we'll usually ask you to go through a series of steps just so you make the most out of that appointment. Because typically appointments are half an hour. Which isn't actually a long time. So we like you to make the most out of that opportunity, and for you to maximise that conversation and that time with a careers consultant. So there might be a few things that we ask you to do beforehand, but that is just so we're making the most out of that time. So like I said, there is lots on. You can access all our events. Last year, we actually ran 300 careers events on campus. It's likely that we'll see more career events happen now we're in this online world. We're hoping, fingers crossed, that it will be a mixture of online and in person, because we really miss delivering in person. So yeah, you are more than welcome to all of those things. Our careers fairs this year, we anticipate they will be online. We're planning for them to be online, but that means you can connect with employers far and wide. So traditionally, all our careers fairs that are open to graduates would have been on campus. However, online, and that means that, we were, only employers that could visit us on the day were able to attend. But now employers that might not have been able to spare a whole day might be able to come along to that fair for an hour or two. So actually, you might have access to more employers than you ever did before. So this is really exciting. So we'll be publishing the date of our graduate fair soon. So once that goes out there, we'll contact you as a graduate and let you know, because like I said, all our events with employers are open to you. Sometimes students need a year after they graduate to really think about what they want to do, and they might be using a year to gain some more experience. So it's not uncommon for our graduates to come back to our graduate fair and find out about the graduate schemes that perhaps they may have missed the boat on the year before. So please do come back and engage with those events, whether they're on campus or online. And that leads me nicely. So I've covered events, I've covered career support in person, I've covered some of the e-learning tools that we've got on My Hub. You have access to all of those things for 5 years. What we want to do now is show you your alumni platform that you might not have seen before. So I think we wanted to start with a neat little video that we've got, Richard. Is that right?
Yeah, that would be great.
So I'll just share that. Bear with me a second. Because this video is really neat way of explaining what's on offer through the platform. So can you see that, Richard?
Yeah.
Is that sharing? Wonderful. Okay, so I'll just enlarge that and I'll press play. I mean, that's a fabulous platform, Richard. How long have we had it at the university now?
We will be coming up to 2 years that we've had the platform now, so it's fairly new to the university, but we are quite pleased with how successful it's been. Now, you might already have logged on to Beckett Connect already, because at the moment, what we're really using it for our current students is to celebrate all of the hard work and the achievements that you've already made during your time at university. We know we can't give you a physical graduation ceremony at this time, but we do really want to recognise the effort that you've made and the time that you spent at university and all of that brings with it. So we've started to use Beckett Connect as a place to collect and collate memories from your time at university through a kind of virtual yearbook, if you like. So, if you do have great memories of your time at university, the first thing that you can do when you log on to Beckett Connect is just to share those in the Class of 2020 yearbook. There's lots of great memories already there, so have a read of those as well, and please, if you feel like it, do add your own. And once you've done that, I think the best way to explain what Beckett Connect is there for is that earlier that as you start out on your career or as your career develops, you're not alone in that the university is here to support you. In the same way, you're not the first people who will have done this, as daunting and as scary as it may seem for you. There are more than 3,000, well, more than 3,500 people actually on Beckett Connect who all graduated from the university, who were all in exactly the same situation that you are now, whether that's taking their first steps in terms of their career or whether that's changing tack completely. All of these people on the platform will have been in that same situation, and they'll have lots of advice and expertise that they can share with you. Beckett Connect is very much a kind of a social networking platform, but the main difference is everybody on there has also graduated from the university, and quite a lot of them are willing to help students who are finding themselves in the same situation that they've been in themselves, whether that's share advice or kind of a more formal mentoring relationship, whether it's through sharing jobs, as we've already mentioned, whether it's delivering online events themselves to let you know about, to talk to you about what they've been doing in their career, things like that. And so, like I say, it's like a social networking platform in that it's fairly similar to LinkedIn, except everybody on there you already have a connection with, in that you've been to the same university, and most of our graduates are willing to help anybody who approaches and to ask for some support.
Yeah, I think I'm really tapping into what you've said there, Richard, around that, the word community. And it really is a community. Is, once you're a Leeds Beckett graduate, your network suddenly becomes so huge. Because I think, like you've said there, our alumni community generally is so willing to help. People are willing to help each other out, and like you've said, whether it's offering job opportunities or mentoring, we tend to find that people in that alumni community are really happy to help, whether it's current students or recent graduates out. So it can be a really useful tool to advance your career from that point of view, because you're talking to what we might call warm leads, so people that you have something in common with, like Richard said, that you've all been at that same point, you've all studied at Leeds Beckett at some point, so you have that thing in common. And the good thing about Beckett Connect, Richard, is I believe that you can actually see people that I have put the hand up and said, hey, I want to help you. It's not even that you have to approach them and say, oh, do you mind helping me? You can actually see people waving their hands at you saying, come to me, I really want to help. Is that right?
That's correct. So when our graduates sign up to Beckett Connect, they tell us all sorts of different things about themselves. They tell us what they studied, when they graduate, all the different things that they've been doing since they graduate and where they are now. And all of that really interesting information that people have put into the platform means as a student or as a recent graduate, you can use that information within the directory to filter on exactly what you're looking for. So, for example, if you were from the law school, you've decided to go back to where you were from originally before you came to university, and you're looking to get in touch with somebody to ask them about a particular type of law that you've been really interested in during your studies, what you can do is log on to Beckett Connect and just go to the directory, filter other people who studied law or studied in the law school or perhaps work in law now. You could filter them to the area that you're living in, and you can have a look through that list of all the people who are willing to help and the kinds of things that they've been doing, the experience that they've got, different ways that they might be able to help you. So it's really quite granular, the way that you can narrow down to find specifically the right person that can help you. And as Maria says, and as you can probably see on the screen there, these people are literally flagged as willing to help you. So all you need to do is find the right person, reach out to them, and they'll have a whole wealth of knowledge there that they can share with you, and they're happy to share it with you.
Yeah. And, you know, sometimes we can feel a bit cheeky, can't we, asking people to help that we've never met, that we don't know. But it's actually, we tend to, you know, the feedback we get is that it gives our alumni community that feel good factor as well, doesn't it? When you're able to give back, when you're able to help somebody, it actually makes them feel good as well. So you don't have to feel nervous about approaching these people. These people are doing this willingly, because they really want to help. So actually, they'll be really pleased to hear from you. You know, and share their knowledge, share their experience, perhaps share their connections with you. So it's absolutely something we'd encourage you to do and to use. Like Richard said, you know, if you want to work in a specific location, you know, we might have graduates in that specific location. You know, we know a lot of our graduates, for example, maybe want to try out working abroad. We have a huge international alumni community. We have alumni in all pockets of the world. You know, you might be able to find somebody living and working where you want to go and that you can ask advice from. It might be a particular company that you want to work for, so look for the companies. It might be a particular job role. You can see here on the screenshot on the PowerPoint, you know, we've got somebody human resource management, somebody working in the NHS. So if those are areas that you're interested in, you know, approach these people. This is probably one of my most favorite aspects to Beckett Connect, because I just think it's so powerful and can really help to fuel your career curiosity. It can give you so much useful knowledge, insights into jobs that you might not have even thought of. We, for example, in the careers team, a common question that we field is, what can I do with my degree? And they're actually looking at, okay, well, on Beckett Connect, well, what do people do with my degree? So I might be studying sport and exercise science. What on earth can I do with that? Well, you can look at graduates of sport and exercise science and see where they've gone, and that can give you some inspiration. And there might be some jobs there that you'd never even heard of, but kind of whet your appetite. So great function for doing some research and opening up new options to you. So that's in the directory function, isn't it, Richard? Now I wanted to cover this the mentoring side, if you wouldn't mind explaining that a little bit more, because I think that's really interesting as well.
Absolutely. So, whilst I think different people have different approaches, it might be that you take the approach that we've just been discussing, in that you kind of seek somebody out yourself to ask about their career, or, as Maria says, to just take a snapshot of what different people are doing by using the directory and having a look through yourself. But what's really great about Beckett Connect as well is that in the back end of Beckett Connect, it can also do that job for you. And it can see that if you're looking for a mentor, if you say that when you join up, that you would perhaps like to speak to somebody about your career and what you can do next and how they might be able to help you. And if somebody else has said, I'm willing to do that, and say you've studied a similar course, or you're looking to work in a similar industry to them, or in a similar job function, in a similar location and things like that, then what the platform actually does is line all these people up for you and say, you know, this is Richard, your interests and the things that you've studied in the past line up 90%, or this is Maria and your interests and everything with her line up 95%. So the platform will actually rank for you in terms of mentoring matches, who is best suited to help you at that time. So it takes all of that out for you. All you have to do is log on and go to the mentoring section of the web of the platform, and it will show you the people, and you can look through. It's almost like a catalogue of experience that you can look through and say, what do I want? Oh, I'll have one of those. And reach out to them straight through the platform, get in touch and see how they can help you.
So I guess it's one of these things that the more information you put into the system, the more you're likely to get out. So if you know, making sure you're populating your profile, that's going to help you know when, I'm guessing.
Absolutely. And one of the other really great things about Beckett Connect is if you already have a LinkedIn profile, which I hope many people do, as it's another really great tool to help you in terms of your job search and building yourself a profile online. If you've already done that, you can just pull that straight over into Beckett Connect. If you just choose sign up via LinkedIn on the sign up page for Beckett Connect, click a couple of buttons and it will take all of that information that you've already put into LinkedIn and pull it into Beckett Connect. So you don't even have to do any work really, any extra work to access all of this great functionality. It's a little bit of an add-on almost.
Yeah, so a great way to save time. And just mentioning that link, LinkedIn, there is an alumni tool there. There's over 101 alumni of Leeds Beckett the last time I looked as well. So another great place to look. But I guess the beauty of Beckett Connect over LinkedIn is like what Richard said, is that you don't have to search, it's there. Everyone on Beckett Connect is a Leeds Beckett graduate and has been where you have been at some point. So that's I guess the edge on it, and it offers so much more. It gives you that connection back to Leeds Beckett, where you can find out what's happening at the university, anything that you might want to become involved with. So it does offer multiple benefits, and another one of those is the business hub, which I think is quite interesting, particularly for those students and graduates that are interested in going off and starting up their own business. And some graduates may already have done that. We've got so many graduates that have set up some hugely successful businesses, and this is a tool that's really useful for those graduates in particular, I'm guessing.
Absolutely. So the Business Hub is almost like a directory for businesses, in that if you've got a business and you want to shout about it, like many of our alumni do, as Maria says, I think in the last few years there was a survey out that said our university was in the top 4% for having graduates who go on to become a business leader. Which is a really great statistic. But what that means is we have hundreds of graduates running their own business, and one of the places that you can kind of share that and talk about it is in the business directory. But in there as well, if you're not a student or a graduate who is running their own business or thinking about it, lots of these businesses will offer discounts specifically to our graduates as well, whether that's 10%, 25%, anything like that, across a range of different products and services. So even if you've thought about setting up your own business and you think maybe not for me, or maybe not for me right now, it's still a great place to check out, in that you could just save yourself some money by doing it. But if you are somebody who is looking at setting up their own businesses, or who already has, then it's just another resource to tap, in that you're exposing yourself to another 3,500 potential customers.
Yeah, and again, have a look at it, because that business that you might be applying to, it may well be run by a Leeds Beckett graduate. You never know. And that's surely a great thing if you're applying to a company and it happens to be run by a Leeds Beckett graduate. Again, something in common with the director, the CEO of that organisation. So really worth knowing, and some further inspiration and where you could be looking, and what you could be going on to do. So another really, really great function. So those are the ones that I've picked out. Richard, is there anything that I've perhaps missed there on the platform that you think's worth graduates knowing about, particularly from a careers point of view?
I think one of the other great aspects is the group aspect to Beckett Connect. So we have the main platform itself, and then underneath there are almost 40 different groups for kind of people with shared interests and things like that. There's one for people who work in human resources. There's one for all the different regions around the world where our alumni are. There's ones for people who work in specific industries. So those could all be a really useful tool to kind of access a large number of graduates who are all interested in the same thing that you are. If you're looking at moving abroad, to work or for further study or for volunteering or just for travel, then you can quite easily use that group to get in touch with, to find and get in touch with people who are already in that area of the world that might be able to help you in all sorts of different ways. If you're interested in a specific industry, well, there's a group there probably that is a group full of people who are also interested in that industry, and you could ask them questions or they can share their ideas with you. And it's just a great little community within a community for all those different things that you might be interested in.
Yeah, really useful. I mean, as I understand it, there's a group for each school as well. So say you're the business school, the school of sport, you can still stay in touch with the people that have maybe been on your course. Something that we do in the very first year when students first come to Leeds Beckett is that we ask students to look around the room, and we say to them, right, think about where that person sat next to you or behind you or in front might be in 10 years' time. Now, Beckett Connect actually allows you to see that. You can actually see where the people that you've sat with, or albeit virtually now, end up in 10 years' time. And, again, that could open doors for you. There might be somebody that you remember being on your course, and they might be working in a company that you're interested in moving into. We're talking about careers for life here. It's, we're very much of the mindset that we don't just want to prep you for your first job out of university and then we forget about it. It's all about that lifelong learning. It's all about future proofing your career. So make sure you keep tapping back into it. Beckett Connect's certainly something to look back on regularly, because you can keep tabs on where the people that you've studied with go, and again that can open up so many new avenues for your career potentially. I'm just thinking, is there anything else, Richard, or do you think now is a good time for any questions?
Yeah, I think questions would be great.
So I guess just to wrap it up before we take some questions, the call to action would be to sign up to Beckett Connect if you've not already done so. That's just beckettconnect.co.uk. That's the main call to action. We will be contacting you about it further, I guess, through graduation comms if you are a final year student. I guess there'll be lots of emails that are being sent to you and lots of communication that's going out. Richard, am I right? Because you'll know more about the graduation comms.
That's correct. So at the moment we are emailing all of our final year students, asking them to join Beckett Connect and get involved with celebrating the achievements that they've made over the last 3 years, whether that's academically, in terms of modules that you've enjoyed, or completing your dissertation, or a really great piece of work that you're proud of, whether that's the friends that you made at university, in a society or in a sports team or in your halls of residence in your first year that are going to stay with you throughout your life. When you make friends at university, you're going to be friends with those people for a very, very long time because of the experiences that you've shared together. Or whether it's just sharing photos to see how you've changed during your time at Leeds Beckett. Those are the main things that we're asking people to share at the moment. But there are lots of different, you'll be getting lots of different emails about Beckett Connect and from Beckett Connect over the next few weeks, just to make sure that you take every opportunity that you can in terms of using the platform to its full potential.
Yeah, so do keep on top of your emails. Eventually, it's worth pointing out, not for a while, so don't panic if you are a final year student. Your Leeds Beckett email does get switched off, so it is worth thinking about giving us an alternative email address to stay in touch with you, because the alumni team will contact you regularly. From Beckett Careers, we'll contact you regularly if you want us to provide you with updates about what's happening, what you can get involved with, all those events that I mentioned earlier on, just so you're not missing anything. So that's something to bear in mind, that eventually it will eventually get switched off. So if you are a final year student, or if you've already graduated, let us know how we can stay in touch if you'd like us to keep sending you information, because we want to do that. That's the best way we've got at this moment in time. So do update those contact details for us, so we can keep sending you all the updates about Beckett and keep you connected in our community. So I think that's a good point to draw it to a close. Richard, if there's any questions for the alumni team, are students able and graduates able to send them through Beckett Connect? Is there a function there to contact the alumni team?
Yep. So if you want to use Beckett Connect to contact us, that's absolutely great. We've got a alumni team profile on there. So just head to the directory and search alumni team and you'll find us. You can message us through the platform. If you want to get in touch with myself directly, I'm more than happy for you to do that. I'm on there as well. Or you can just email us at alumni@leedsbeckett.ac.uk. Whatever works best for you, we're always happy to hear from you.
Brilliant. And a final thought from me is give us a follow on social media. The Beckett Careers team are really proactive on social media. So we're at Beckett Careers on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Another great place to keep up to date on what's happening and stay part of the community. So thanks everyone for watching today. Final messages from us. You're not alone. We are here from you now. We're here for you now and moving forward. So don't be a stranger. Stay connected with us. Be an active part of the Beckett alumni community, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care, all. Bye.